Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve skill-based matchmaking. At least I hope so. In this video, we are comparing all the BR1 rifles for the Western Allies and Enlisted to see which of them is the best for you. And starting out with the Enfield P14, I think this rifle is objectively the worst out of the three. I imagine there will be a few people in the comment section below who will belay that statement, but allow me to explain my reasoning. The description of this weapon is already pretty jarring enough as it reads, "This is a British rifle with high accuracy and increased rate of fire," but simultaneously they proceed to negate that statement by having the worst sight picture out of the three rifles we'll be talking about today, and then they follow up that by having pretty much the lowest fire rate out of all three rifles as well, coming in at a base of 49 rounds per minute. So I'm thinking perhaps they intentionally make you shoot slow since the target acquisition with the sights is so bad anyways. An inexcusable advertisement in my personal opinion, but hopefully the results of that false advertising is apparent in the gameplay. Usually with bolt action rifles, I like a sight picture that allows me a wide field of view so I can more easily snap from target to target while I'm chambering the next round, but with this rifle I found myself very often having to slow down and hold my breath for the extra focus just to get off 2 or 3 kills in quick succession, as missing with a bolt action rifle is one of the worst things you can do. But like I said, the sight picture for this gun isn't doing me any favors in that regard, and unfortunately there aren't any other standout features or stats for this gun that would make up for that, you know, how hard it is to aim with the gun generally speaking, which brings me to the conclusion that this rifle is the one that you want to avoid using most objectively. Not to mention this rifle is the slowest reload at 3.4 seconds, just another stat exemplifying the slowness. I'll say one nice thing about the P14 Enfield, and that's that it does have a best in tier shot deviation at a base of 8, which is outstanding to see a single digit number, but I mean, you guys can let me know if you can actually make good use of that stat with these iron sights. The clunkiness makes you have to slow down and play back at further range, which I guess is that kind of makes sense considering the weapon, it carries its damage out the furthest, but it's still, my least favorable recommendation when it's all said and done. Coming up next, we gotta talk about the M1903 Springfield. This is the default American bolt action, which I personally feel occupies the middle slot as far as overall value and effectiveness, and I feel generally speaking it gets a really bad rep overall, since it's probably the most used weapon any new player in Enlisted will have until they actually start unlocking more stuff to use. But as far as the overall sight picture is concerned, it's not the best that I've seen on a rifle, nor is it the worst. I do find it way more serviceable than the previously mentioned Enfield when it comes to rapid target acquisition and how easy it is to nail a person with all 5 or occasionally 6+ of your bullets before having to reload, which is one of the main barometers that I typically judge a bolt action by. Speaking of middle of the pack, this rifle has a second highest rate of fire out of the 3, coming in at a base of 51 rounds per minute, while tying first place for a bullet velocity of 830 meters per second. So it would seem that this rifle was more or less designed to indeed occupy that middle slot as far as overall effectiveness is concerned. I will say, unfortunately, this weapon has the worst in class shot deviation, coming in at 12. So ever so ironically, although this rifle does have sights better suited for taking on larger numbers and more sparsely placed soldiers, if you shoot with this weapon, the more you shoot with it in quick succession, I should say, the more likely you are to miss in comparison to the other two, which is an unfortunate con that solidifies its second place overall, ranking in my personal opinion. Coming in last but certainly not least, we gotta talk about the Marine version of the Springfield, the 1903A1 to be precise, modified with a new handle for increased fire rate, and that does definitely show in the stats as it has a best in tier 54 rounds per minute at base. But in my personal opinion, what makes this weapon shine above the others in the same tier is that it has the best iron sights in the class, which might as well be its own stat as far as bolt action rifles, as how good the sights are is damn near the most important aspect of using a bolt action rifle, if not any weapon in that time period where optics are not standard issue. I will note that there aren't necessarily any other standout features with this rifle, as everything else is either tied for first or middle of the road as far as like effectiveness. But again, let me know if you think I am tripping, as I believe out of all three of these rifles, this one has the best iron sights, and that coupled with having mostly favorable or competitive stats in every other category makes it a prime candidate for being the best bolt action rifle as far as what a new player should be investing his time and hard-earned silver into for buying multiple of them and for upgrading. But overall, these are just my personal opinions. I am hoping that my explanations and the gameplay will help you decide for yourself which rifle you want to choose and use most often and equip all your riflemen with. And yeah, other than that, if you found any of this entertaining or insightful or enlightening, anything of that nature, don't forget to aim for that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. Oh, and don't forget to share with a new friend who just started playing with Enlisted if you know any. It'll definitely probably help them as well. And other than that, hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Black Guy out.